minutes, ne?
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yet again, Mzansi, the game didn't just give us football this weekend, man. It gave us plot twists. It gave us heartbreaks. Look at Roy. It gave us statement wins from one man taking off his shirt too early. Yep. Tonight we unpack the football that shook timelines from Loftus to London, Villakas to Turin. I'm your host, Lebu, and I'm joined by the Football Council of Judgment. First up is the tactician with the tactical Bible, Roy, and then the man who analyzes pressure better than SARS, Timo. And yeah, we know our other delegates that we had the other week, Vito, has decided to go study some local football so we can have a nice opinion. Thanks. Shall we begin?
Let's
Let's
argue.
argue.
Let's argue. Well, first up is calling knockout this weekend. Drama. Roy, your thoughts?
On my side, we've seen Richards Bay take on Orlando Pirates at home. They actually lost 1-0 to Pirates. Pirates was more clinical. There was no fireworks, but they kept the game, they kept their composure, and 1-0 is a professional score.
Definitely. Tips.
After that, we saw Golden Arrows entertaining Marumo Gallants. The tie ended after 90 minutes with a 2-2 scoreline. Eventually, these two teams went to penalty shootout where Marumo Gallants came out on top, winning 4-2. Gallants said, "We are not here to participate. We are here to interrupt dreams." Penalty composure, it was ice cold, Sub-Zero-esque from Mortal Kombat. This shit was crazy.
Yeah, and then just to add there on Arrows, Arrows fans were basically convinced that they had a thing in the bag. They were like, you know what, we're taking this. And Galan said, you know what, not today. This is where I'm
Yeah, no,
going
they
to
fought
prove it.
valiantly. They fought valiantly, Van Roy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No, they
kudos
did.
to them, man.
And that's why this result takes Gallants to our prop of the week contender list. But don't worry, we'll circle back. If it's the first time you're joining us, watch out for our prop of the week list. But then we're getting into Saturday. Tivo, there was chaos there in the EPL.
I'm telling you, Richarlison, the Brazilian R9 or the team new version of R9, he actually
Yes.
thought he had won it for Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Stadium. Spurs thought the movie was scripted. Richarlison took his shirt off in celebration, thinking that this was the final scene where the hero won the movie. But United have discovered a new word, and it's called resilience this season. They have
yeah,
adopted a never say die attitude, chance, and they managed to draw level right at the death. Kudos to Ruben Amorim and his charges.
yeah. And then the Lug actually scored that equalizer,
Yeah.
That was basically
Kaitanye.
yeah, that was a scheduled arrival of United. They showed that, you know what, we now have a defensive set piece identity again, and we're going to defend, we're going to block, we're going to make sure that we win the ball. And yeah, they got a result from it. It's not
I'm,
the favorable one, but they
I
got a
I
result.
know. I'm telling you, Van Roy. Spurs went from back to oh my god in 14 seconds. Right? It was crazy. It was
Then
crazy.
Yeah,
And then Sunderland 2-2 versus Arsenal. So obviously from a City perspective, this makes me happy. And also from just keeping the league interesting so it doesn't become a League One or a Bundesliga. This definitely
sure.
also was nice. Sunderland, identity, structure, attitude, or Arsenal obviously, still undefeated, but shook. Thibaut?
Hey, I'm gonna say one thing and one thing only, big boss. Leandro Trossard.
Yeah.
The man nearly killed that goalkeeper. That goalkeeper put his whole life on the line trying to save that shot. Unfortunately for him, it ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah, and then also that guy from Sunderland, Brobby, he actually scored the equalizer at the death, And if you think that that is by luck, no, that is instilling belief, bruh. That was
Yeah.
belief.
Elebza.
Mm.
Elebza, did you
Yeah.
notice Van Roy? He nearly said, hey, that black guy.
Bro, you
Brian,
must
Oh,
say
Brian
that to
bro,
your
Brody.
son.
Brian Brody. What the hell?
yeah,
Just say
Broby.
that.
Broby sounds like Bobby. Bobby.
Yeah. And it also looked like
Eh,
robbery. I also thought it was
yeah,
robbery.
yeah,
But
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
look. Sunderland are that team you don't want to face when your mood is fragile. And guess what?
Yeah.
There's still going to be a lot of top teams that are going to meet Sunderland fragile. And obviously, Sunderland is also a metaphor for a team that's, not a top title contender, but will disturb and move a team that wants to win off the tracks. So thank you to Sunderland, wishing for more other teams to stand up and put their hands up to distract Arsenal at the moment. But Roy, I know you were watching the Chelsea one.
Yeah, I definitely did. Chelsea were really merciless. They showed that, you know what, we're going to press Wolves into submission, into a corner. And just like I said, they would want to slaughter them Wolves. And
Mm.
they had the best collective performance of their season so far. And they came out with 3 goals and 3 points. So big ups to them, though.
Oh yeah, Chelsea definitely getting a bit consistent. Thibaut, I know on Sunday you had nothing else to watch but Man City versus Liverpool.
No, it was definitely entertaining. I'm not sure about that first part where you said I had nothing to watch, but it was definitely entertaining. I think the manner in which proceedings went, Manchester City bulldozed Liverpool. There's no
Yeah.
I,
debate, guys. Slots Liverpool are out of ideas in the build-up phase. And listen, I think the manner in which this game transpired, I think Manchester City owe Liverpool a date, because there's no way that the City can take advantage of Liverpool like this and not do something. Gents, come on.
yeah, I actually wanted to take out tissue and just because I don't have glasses.
Yeah, my man,
It
I
was
don't know what's
painful.
going on there. I don't know what's going on there with your
Yeah,
club, because on
that
Friday,
was painful. City basically they manipulated us, ne, in pressing. They just knew which buttons to press, ne. They invited the press, then they dragged the press, then they cut our press, and then I was like, what the hell? Like they basically did to us what we did to Madrid, just with a better
Mm.
score, and it
nah,
was painful.
nah,
Oh, look
broski,
at someone saying nah. Look at someone saying nah
broski,
because then you mentioned his team's
broski.
name. Huh?
If Andre, I'm going to level with you, my man. I'm going to level with you, my man. On Friday, we discussed how how Liverpool belonged to how Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool side belonged to this Manchester City team. Ne? But
Yeah.
after yesterday's game, I
Right.
think, you know what, it's business as usual, my man. I think
Yeah,
something
no.
needs to happen, man.
No, I definitely
Yeah.
do think it's business as usual if we pause there at that game because it was a Super Sunday game there. For
Yeah.
me, as obviously a City watcher and also a football fan, I thought it was going to be a tough encounter for both. But I was just
Yeah.
surprised at the way Liverpool were toothless in their wings because Liverpool are usually very strong on their wings. The Robertson or whoever, they just keep whipping them out. And another perfect example of what we mentioned, I think, a week ago, that Trent Alexander-Arnold was extremely important to this team as much as he was a defensive liability. Remember, there are only
Mm.
three big teams that you become a defensive liability to while you're playing Sunderland the whole year, where Trent becomes becomes an assister. He becomes the best assister. Just so it's so important to actually put it in that perspective that yes, for example, Real Madrid play Barca twice a year, and in twice a year, like last year, for example, when they lost, it seemed like the team is into Serie, but then they beat everybody else. Do you understand? So even now, Arsenal, yes, they tripped up with Sunderland, but then they probably will just keep winning. But City are back in a way to say they've got their swagger that's
Mm.
coming. And I hate to say it, Shahid, I know you're watching, dog, but Doku, I'm pretty surprised, man. I am pretty surprised by how great he was yesterday. But you know me, I will judge him for next match. I will look at
Yeah,
him.
Lebza. Before you get excited, ne, don't you think at least Manchester City should catch up to Arsenal before you start, saying all these things, singing all these kumbaya songs and all
Look,
that?
John,
Wouldn't
Arsenal.
it be fair? Wouldn't it be fair to catch up to Arsenal or overtake Arsenal before you start telling us about that cow? I mean, that winger, Jeremy Doku. Come on, man. Come on, man.
We've caught up already. The fact that it's 4-point gap, Arsenal is even more scared because now when we get to that Christmas period
Van
where
Roy.
they play Boxing Day, then they play New Year, like it's going to be tough for Arsenal at that time. And there, it doesn't need the best player. It doesn't need, it needs kahunas. You need to go to the Blue Bull Stadium and buy yourself a set of balls because it's a tough period.
So over and above that boy that is talking about Doku, the one that looks like a fish boy. I'm just kidding. Um, one thing that new, ne, that I still believe in and I know, ne, for a fact that Arsenal won't see the end of December in number one spot. They do this every year. I mean, we see it every year.
Yeah.
We see it
Yeah,
every year. I was
yeah.
more me as a no, I'm being honest. Me as a Liverpool fan, I was more afraid of City being on top, ne, than being than Arsenal being number one. That's my
They
Yeah.
two
own you.
cents.
Of course, you're going to be scared of them.
They own you. Just like Barca owns Madrid. Just
Hey,
like Barca
there's an
owns
argument.
Madrid. Anyway, we move over, as I say, Barca owns Madrid to the La Liga weekend, which was also a great weekend for those who don't support Las Blancos. So, Thibaut, can you take us through the results of this one right here?
Yeah, we saw things kicking off with Atletico de Madrid entertaining Levante. Cholo Simeone's team steamrolling with swagger. They scored 3 goals with Levante managing to pull one, but from a former Cholismo player. Then when we moved to the other side of Madrid, we saw Rayo Vallecano at the Estadio Vallecas entertaining Real Madrid. Rayo are unbeaten in 3 meetings at Vallecas against Real Madrid. Real Madrid looked flat. Real Madrid looked one-dimensional. Real Madrid looked like they did not have any ideas. I don't
Wait, wait,
know if
Timo,
maybe
let's
they
pause there for 2 seconds. So, how are your feelings about Alonso? Because I saw you posting something on your status and you're
yeah.
saying he is not him.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I think, and I've said this before. I don't think Xabi Alonso is the right man.
Yeah.
I think the mentality that he's adopting, or the style with which he's trying to manage the group is something that would work at a smaller club. You see,
Mm,
but now when you're at a club like Real Madrid, when you have a club that has superstars in it, like apart from the tactics that you employ or the style of play that you roll out, a big part of it is also managing the relationships with the players, especially
yeah.
with the ones that are not playing. And if you look
Mm,
at Xabi Alonso's decision making, I mean, if you look at the weekend's game, give me one reason why Gonzalo Garcia did not come on, why Endrick did not come on, why did it take so long to put Rodrigo on? I mean, I'm not saying that if the guys maybe from the first 11 are not performing, that you shouldn't swap them. But to me, it looks like he's more concerned about asserting his authority to Vinicius Junior more than trying to get the whole group to perform. I mean, at the Club World Cup, he was playing with 3 center backs and 4 in the middle and 3 up front. When the league campaign started, he ditched that whole plan. And I'm not saying maybe that formula was not gonna work, but for me, it really looks stable. Trent
mm.
Alexander-Arnold has been fit for how long, but they bring him on maybe with like 10 minutes to spare in a game. Maybe he doesn't trust his defensive qualities, but with where Trent Alexander is concerned, you know what you get every time he goes forward. So overall, me, gents, I don't know about you. The jury is still out. I think Xabi Alonso has a lot to do. If he can manage to win La Liga, hey, congratulations to him. He's done a very great job. If he can take us far in the Champions League, listen, I will swallow. I will. Listen. I will take back. I won't even take back everything that I said. I will admit that I was wrong about it.
You see,
But until
you need
then,
you look. You're hurt. I can feel through the computer. I think you need that song I was singing from Bob Marley, but you need us to give you a literal hammer. So you need a hammer, a hammer, a hammer, a hammer to hammer them down. Anyway,
yeah. Well,
you know
then
what?
after that,
Yeah.
yeah. After that,
After
we
that,
saw Real Mallorca entertaining Getafe. This was a Street Fighter football, literally. This was Ken and Ryu versus Sagat and Balrog on one side. It was crazy. The matchup ended up in a 1-0 victory for Real Mallorca. They managed to get the 3 points and hold off this Getafe side. Valencia at the Estadio Mestalla were entertaining Real Betis. It ended in a 1-0 draw, a fair split in my opinion. I think both teams tried to bring their best football, but Real Betis looked a bit jaded from playing Europa League football on a Thursday night. So, in terms of the quality there, I think they couldn't really dig deep and find a way to finish off this Valencia side. But also, Valencia managed to do well to at least get 1 point at home. And then Celta de Vigo, fresh off a win in Zagreb, were entertaining FC Barcelona. Celta Vigo were hot coming into this game. But Barcelona at the beginning of the encounter were very nervous, but they found a way to win the game. All in all, the game ended in a 4-2 scoreline. I think Hansi Flick will be very happy with the reaction from his boys, and they will take all 3 points and the goals that they scored.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Hey, Lepsa, I just think that Rio Vallecano game versus Real Madrid, that was, you know, that when you're from the same neighborhood and you have beef, ne? But
yeah,
then every time on social media, you say, I'm gonna get you. And
yeah.
it comes to that date and you just walk
On
past each
site, Baba,
other.
on
That's how
site.
that, yeah, that was how that game was with 0 goals. It was that type of
Yeah,
beef that you say that, I'm gonna get you when I see you. And then that day comes when I see you, I don't do fuck all.
You basically look the other way. All right,
Yeah.
Roy. Let me do quickly this Serie A thing quickly because I know this is Thibaut's favorite league, but we're taking it from him so he doesn't get passionate.
Yeah.
Juventus. You know what? I don't know, man. Do they need their coach back? Who they fired? Because even this team ain't doing nothing. You know, we thought that the Derby de la Moya will go ahead and have some fireworks, but no winner, no spark. Basically, you don't even need to mention the word spark. That's how dead it
Yeah.
was. And then Parma and Milan, you know, 2-all draw. I don't know. You know, Thibaut, when they started, you said Milan, they've got Modric, they're going to go da bada bada, but clearly Modric's age is showing. You know, Parma are no longer passengers. They definitely have great players, but come on, you got Modric, you can pull the strings. Clearly, the string is torn. And then Napoli, I don't know what's going on with Napoli.
Ish.
Maybe was it Champions League getting them tired because obviously some squads aren't as deep as like Real Madrid or your Barca's or your whatnot. So it
Barca
definitely might
squad is
be.
not deep.
No, Tina, we are deep by soul. You are deep by money. Anyway. So look,
In rips.
yes. So Napoli don't have a very deep squad in terms of players. So Bologna did walk out with a 2-0 one at home. So this is where the season shifts for real. And if Napoli do not stop this rot, they might just find themselves not in contention for the league. And then Roma at home. Definitely Gasperini cooking quietly right there. Udinese could not return this 2-0 loss. And then, you know what? Inter versus Lazio. Thibaut, this is the only time I'll get you to tell me what happened between these two.
Yeah, no, listen, Internazionale got on the front foot 2 minutes into the game with a screamer from Lautaro Martinez. Overall, Inter Milan were the better team, and this victory basically guaranteed them top spot after Bologna made sure that the pathway to the top of the food chain was wide open for them. The title momentum really shifted, and I think now it's in favor of Internazionale, but there's still many games to play, so we'll see if Napoli can maybe claw their way back into contention.
Now I'm with you. I'm with you. So look, we're going to get in directly into our props and flops for the week. Let's get yours quickly before we get into some of our questions. And if you have questions for us, holla at us, man. Get into the comments, ask us questions. Tibo's always willing to answer why he's so emotional with Real Madrid. Roy, you know, like that Monica song, Inside, I'm crying, baby, but Roy won't show it. That's why it worked. It worked. He wore a white shirt instead of like a red top. Believe me, if Roy had seen Liverpool beat Man City 3-0, he would have been wearing his Liverpool top at work. I
Oh,
believe that.
really?
But anyway, yeah. Props of the week. Choose quickly, guys. Roy, let's start with you. Is it Man City crushing Liverpool? Is it the Trossard screamer? Is it Chiefs putting 4 past orbit like a training ground demo? This was obviously during the week. Or is it Gallants going through to the next round, which is the final of the Carling Cup? Roy?
For me, it is City crushing Liverpool. I think that is the one for me. I give props to them. We didn't even get a single goal in that game. That's how bad it was. But yeah, kudos to them.
Timo, on your side?
Yeah, no, I'm with Van Roy. I'm also going with Manchester City. I think they basically just reminded the Reds that they own them.
You just wanted to say that sentence. You just wanted to say that sentence. Huh?
It's the truth.
I'll agree with you guys. 100th game 1,000th game being managed by Pep Guardiola, the team Yeah, so we hope that they play like it's their 1,000th game every time. And then the flops of the week, Thibaut, is it Xabi Alonso misreading again because Madrid look ideologically stuck? Or is it Liverpool, emotional high, tactically low? Or Napoli, hand the keys to Inter like the Uber delivery already at this time of the year?
No, it's definitely Xabi Alonso for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That guy he's not him for me, gents. I don't know about Joel. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, he's just not
For
the
me,
guy.
for me, it's Liverpool. I think they are the biggest flops. How can you like come from beating such a top team in Europe, that owns Europe basically in
Yeah.
European football, to coming back home and then losing there in your own backyard? Come on, man.
If and Roy, if there's one thing I will say, ne, there's just one thing I will say, ne, I really am disappointed in Liverpool that over the last couple of years they've really allowed this Manchester City team, to really walk over them. And when you take things into account in terms of who's the bigger club, Liverpool are leaps and bounds bigger than Manchester City.
Yeah,
But the
trophies
manner
are
in
big.
which things Yeah, man, but the manner in which things are going, I really don't understand. Does no one there have pride anymore, or do they not care, or do they not take City seriously? What's going on?
I
I think it's
really
just that
can't.
it's that
I
Real
really
Madrid
can't.
thing that Barca's been beating them so much they can't
Real
do nothing.
Madrid, yeah, Real
Oh,
Madrid
sorry.
is Real Madrid. What's going on here? Ay.
So for me, I think it's a combination of many things, but we don't know what happens in the backgrounds in the dressing room, on the training field. Like I've seen once where I think it was not so long ago, I think 2 weeks ago, where someone else scored, and Salah, they actually ran past Salah, then he actually went out of the way, like not to take the guy's hand. So I think there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't know of. So I can't really put or pinpoint where the problem is.
Maybe they should do. Maybe at Liverpool they should do. You know what they do there by Chelsea. Those the guys there by Chelsea, they go on picnics and dates and stuff. So maybe
And
they should
Chelsea have
try and blame
600
that.
players.
Yeah. Most of them, like 400 of them went on loan. So the 200 that are there, they go on picnic dates and stuff. So maybe they should try that. I don't know.
Don't tell us Chelsea. Me, my flop of the week is Napoli. Like they really are. They're not seeming like what's this coach's name?
Antonio Conte.
A Conte team. Like a Conte team is usually defensively sound, and even if they won't score, but they'll go ahead and close the door on their side. For them to be hit by 2-0, Conte, I don't know what's going on. It's either he's losing the dressing room or maybe the player that he trusts is not available, because Conte is also a same 11 type of guy, So, guys, quick fire questions. They come to you quickly. I need you to take even 10 seconds just to answer this question quickly. Let me start my time this side. All right, Roy, did Richarlison respect football with the early celebration, or is that passion?
I think it's overexcitement, not passion. I think he got overexcited. And the same thing happened last season with Jota when he thought that now we are going to draw against Liverpool, they are on top, and then Jota came and said nail in the coffin. I think it's the same thing. It's just overexcitement.
All right, thank you. To you, Thibaut, are Arsenal still title favorites if they are drawing these types of games?
Oh yes, definitely they are. Arsenal are unbeaten in how many games? And they've conceded how many games this season? What, like 4? Now Arsenal are still the team to beat until Manchester City or someone else maybe catches up to them, draws level with them, or even overtakes them. I think it's difficult to look past Arsenal being favorites this season.
Roy, did Slot misjudge City, or does Liverpool have deeper squad issues?
I think it's deeper squad issues. I really think that something is going on that we don't know of, that nobody knows of, besides the walls in that arena that they are in. So I think we have squad issues that's deeper than just football.
Thibaut, is Xabi Alonso getting found out, or is it just fatigue from the players?
Nah, I think his ideas are just not gelling with the group. I think he's losing the group. To be honest, I could be very wrong, but I feel like he's losing the group. I think he's not. There's no uniformity in the manner in which he does things. This is why I alluded to the point of why he doesn't play Gonzalo Garcia, his top scorer at the Club World Cup. Why he doesn't give Enrique a chance when he can see that the other guys have no ideas. He keeps playing Eduardo Camavinga on the right wing. Like, what the fuck, dog?
And then, Roy, should
Yeah.
Napoli panic now that Bologna overtook them?
I think they should panic with response. They should make sure that going into every other game, they don't lose, they don't draw. And, somewhere down the line, Bologna might slip up. So they need to basically panic with response.
No, true. And then, Thibaut, last one. Gallants, is this a cup run or a real identity shift? Are they becoming into a cup team?
I think it's too early to say. I think they got lucky. I think they, if you take into account the last encounter that they had with Golden Arrows, this was an opportunity for revenge for them, and they hung on at the Golden Arrows so much so that they even went to a penalty shootout. And a penalty shootout for me is all about luck. It's down to a coin toss. It could go either way. So I don't think it's that deep. It's not necessarily a cup run. I don't think it's an identity shift. I think they just really got their revenge. It was their opportunity, and they stuck that dagger in the hearts of Montville Golden Arrows.
Well, to all our viewers, you would have seen today evident that football gives joy,
Yeah.
pain, chaos, and comedy after all in one match. But we're here to make sense of it all, right, Thibaut?
Ovio. The table is forming, identities revealing, stakes are rising. The shit is only gonna get better from here onward.
And now we have the international break. It resets the pulse. I think we all need to just sit back and enjoy that. And yeah, our favorite sport will be back in different leagues after that break.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We know that we take a break during the international break to go ahead and let you enjoy your country's football. Some of you that love Haaland, you'll be watching Norway. Never find me doing that. But anyway, it is Let's Argue. Good night, Africa. From Thibaut, from Roy, and myself, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure. Good night.
Mzansi.
Yeah, sure. Tiwolava Ultra featuring the Mood Engineer featuring Van Roy. See you.